Good morning, Solaris 7. Calgary Battletech brings you Season 2 of Uncivil Discourse with your hosts, Brett, Lee, and commentary from Geoff. Greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome back to another wonderful and wondrous episode of Uncivil Discourse.
And today's episode has been brought to you by the Crying Towel, now with extra absorbency when you need to get those stains off of your view screen.
Yeah, you've been using that towel quite a bit, haven't you, Lee?
Oh, ouch.
It's a good thing I bought two.
Did you get them on a bulk discount at Costco?
Yeah. I was planning on giving you some, but if you're going to be mean to me...
When have we not been mean to you?
Yeah, after all this time, I have definitely become used to you guys beating on me. We have now come to the conclusion of our playoffs, and we have our two champions, who we will be talking about later in the episode, because if we talked about them now, our show would only be 3 minutes long.
At this time, I would like us to talk about community, ours in particular, and how it's trying to have more than just a scheduled date to play games, but a community of people who look forward to seeing each other on game day.
You're absolutely right, Brett. Our community of people who have joined up in League, paid their dues, showed up every week to play, they have formed an amazing community, and we would like to thank everyone for that, and to just keep it up. Keep the conversations going on Discord. Remember, we have a Facebook group as well that loves the chatter, because we have certain players that aren't on Discord. So them hearing about what's going on, especially your private games or what you think about League, great idea to get that up there on the Facebook group as well. As well as join in the conversations. We want to hear your voice. We want to hear what you have to say. That's on Discord, in person at the Den. Just get in there and join us.
Yeah, it's really great that we're Season 2, looking at Season 3 already, and man, it's so good to be playing Battletech again, and the community that has come out and we've started created again is just growing, and really it's great, right? We haven't played Battletech for a while in a League setting, and it's just really nice to see again.
Wrapped up finals game on the 5th of February. It's now the 12th, and we've had, 2 or 3 people calling out. So when are next season packages available? What are the mech lists going to look like? How soon are we starting? I don't want to wait.
Yep.
We get to have time off, don't we?
Apparently not.
Yeah, and it's great to see the excitement, though. That's awesome. Jump right in there, keep in the conversation with us, keep us on our toes a little bit, too. It's good to hear the extra information and the extra ideas.
So playing off the community aspect, Geoff, is there anyone you would like to give a shout out to or call out for this season?
Yeah, definitely. I've given him shit all season so far about trying to jam as many racks as possible. But Gary has done so well this season, from going from almost last place last season to making it to the final round of playoffs this season. It's a huge improvement, and he's always a cheery guy, and it's quite nice. It's good to see. Great job, Gary.
Gary, way to go, buddy. Way to really improve over the season, and once again, be a core member of our community. My shout out or call out, I was actually going to go after Aaron like usual, and then I realized I have a new foil for next year. I have a new arch nemesis. Justin again ditched a game that we had organized to play because he had to work. He was making too much money. I'm coming for you next year, Justin. You are not going to duck me every year from this point forward. I'm going to make it so you have to play me first game every season.
I think it was somebody doesn't have heat. I have to go rescue them.
Yeah, that's the them problem, not an us problem. Come on.
I think I am going to have to call out Max because we'd never heard from him before. He joined up first this season. He's one of our youngest members, if not the youngest member. and he made it all the way to A-side playoffs. Now, you can't be here first time and just get there and not at least get a mention, so good to go, Max, on making it to A-side playoffs. In the interest of being transparent, nothing is perfect, and like all things, there are usually aspects that can be improved upon or worked at for a better experience. Lee, was there anything you felt we could maybe do better into off-season or before coming back into year 3?
Script writing. We really got to work on our script writing.
Cool. Hire somebody to pay somebody.
I know. Actually, have a check that clears. No. To be honest, when I saw this in the script, Brett, I was really kind of not taken aback that, oh my God, we do everything great. Trying to think of just one thing that we could be doing better. League is a growing, breathing entity almost unto itself, so it's always evolving. Things that we did last year, we've changed for this year. Things that we tried for this year either won't be carried into next year or we need to continue refining. If I had to think of one thing that I could do better, it would be communication with the league members via Facebook. I kind of let that stuff slip, and I apologize to anybody who's a Facebook-only member of the Calgary Battletech League. I'll try to do better next season to make sure that all gets incorporated in my list of things to do. And the other is I'm also going to do my best to improve this podcast, be it audio quality, video quality. Just trying to keep it new and interesting for you guys because we love doing this and we want you to keep coming back and watching.
Okay, that's all good points. So Geoff, same question. Thoughts and ideas on something to work on for when we start up again next year?
I think we need to work on a little bit of, like Lee was saying, with communication-wise, just maybe a little bit better, but not off the top of my head right now that I can say. No, nothing. I think we did pretty decent for the second round, but there's always minor things that could be improved, right? So, I think it was a pretty decent season.
Yeah, if nothing ever needed to be changed, they wouldn't need us.
Yeah, exactly.
It would just be the tome that shall never be altered, handed out, and we would all just play off that thing ad nauseum for the next 50 years.
Right. That leads into why we take a couple of months off for the most part, is because we spend so much time in between seasons to review everything, listen to player feedback, tweak things, change things, make sure that it's pointed correctly, make sure the lists are accurate, and make sure that everybody's going to have a good time. For myself, I would say potentially putting in more mechanical corrections just to alleviate anything that might cause player interactions that are less than spectacular, or addressing those concerns in a little bit more timely manner.
Yeah, those are all good ideas too, Brett. I like those because those are things that the players are going to want to see from us. Now, nobody likes negative Nancy's. Like, we want to get on to back to positive notes. So we should also take a moment to toot our own horns with something that we'll be taking away from this season on a positive note. For myself, I'd have to say the growth that we've seen this season from the podcast, adding the new show, Battle Babes. I think that one's going fantastic, and I'd like to thank everybody for watching it. To the mid-season dinner, that was amazing. Like the potluck, everybody that showed up and contributed, it was amazing to see everybody who was willing to show up and see us, a little bit out of a league setting. That is the things I'm taking to heart, and really looking forward to next season is the community growth and the growth of the league as a whole and how it keeps maturing from season to season.
Yeah, because that totally demonstrates on how we're growing as a community and not just a bunch of players that meet in a basement and play on Friday night kind of thing.
What's wrong with meeting on a Friday and playing?
I mean, nothing. It's my basement, so whatever. It's all good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're just another option for how to play Battletech. We're not the only option. We have our own little rules that we use that is not everybody's cup of tea. But you know what? If you don't like the way we play, you can always leave and go play your own game. Maybe go start your own league. A lot of people are doing it. There's an entire other version of Battletech called Alpha Strike.
Yeah, for me, it is also like the growth and how we've had 18 people last year. We were up to 22 this year. We almost had 24 up until like draft day when we had a couple of last minute drops. But between the people that are talking about coming back from first season, the ones that are talking about coming back from second season, and the ones that are talking about like, oh my God, when does your next season start? Because I missed it. I want to join up. We might actually have 30 people, which means we might have to appropriate more game space to get 15 games going at the same time. That is an awesome problem to have. We have good positive problems to be dealing with, not challenges to overcome.
Well, there's always challenges to overcome, right? But I think they're minor ones that really aren't gonna put too much of a hiccup in things. But yeah, having 15 tables of BattleTech next season would be awesome. Well, we got what? Just the awards ceremony left, so that means I guess I got a little bit of time before I gotta start working on stuff for the package again. You know, a couple months to do some new lists, maybe change some things.
Oh, I totally forgot. 4 months of time off. No more games, no running anything, no podcasts.
Whoa. Wait a minute. That's not how this works. We still have podcasts to do, and at best, we get a month or so to recharge before we start working next season in earnest. And even then, I'm pretty sure it's going to start as soon as the awards ceremony is over.
What are you talking about? I've already started.
You're totally right. I've also been asked to run a tournament in May, technically 2, but I'm going to delegate or look for a volunteer for someone else to run the one in the last week of May.
Oh, yeah, and you know what? Actually, what I'm looking forward to in the off season, other than the work that we have to do, because it is actually quite fun to do it, I'm looking forward to delving into the MRC stuff. I really want to see how well that works and how well it will integrate with the gaming we're already doing. It's obviously not League compatible, but it doesn't have to be. It's still fun. Still going to be great to do. I'm also looking forward to doing some Mega Mech games with people that aren't in the immediate area. I know Jason really wants to get back. He was telling me recently how much he misses League. Well, it's your fault for moving to BC, dude.
Excited to try and get into like Mega Mech and the MRC stuff. Just haven't had time with us running playoffs and getting done. So once we get things starting to roll again and we have a little bit of free time, I'm absolutely excited about that.
So this isn't Ramble Tech. It's not that show. It is about the Calgary Battletech League and everything else in BattleTech in general. And maybe we have rambled long enough and we should get back to the really exciting part, which is our championship games. Starting off with the B-side championship match.
So before that, though, both of the A-side and B-side games were played on one of the neoprene maps again, this time it being the desert side. This means all of our playoff teams played on maps that were not in the normal rotation this year, so nobody had the advantage of prior experience or an edge because they got to play that map while an opponent might not have. We also had true neutral dice provided for each of the 4 players for the final match, so no lucky dice or unlucky, depending on who you are, being the determining factor for the matches.
In our B-side championship game, for those that don't remember, we had the Comstar Doom Buds facing off against the Federated Suns Red Suns Irregulars. This was one of the closest games I've seen all year. Not only did we have to break out the force withdrawal, crippled mechs rules, but the game came down to counting pips of damage on the mechs that were still standing on the battlefield. I believe it was 181 to 105 in this 2-2 victory today.
Well, Brett, you and I said it in the first and second round of the playoffs. At some point in time, we were going to end up having to count pips to decide a winner. I didn't expect it to be the B-side finals. With all of that, it ended up being such a close game anyway. Like, that's a pretty close amount of damage. The winner and B-side champion this year is Comstar's Doom Buds. Congratulations on doing what we were all hoping you would do, and that's defend the C3I skills and tech.
Good game, Alexander. Way to go, kid. Super proud of you. I mean, it doesn't matter. He doesn't listen to the show, so he's not going to hear it. But
oh, that's true. Yeah, that is 100% true. No, great job, Alex. Gary, nicely done, sir, for getting so far. down to damage pips. Unlike what you guys called every single game for round 2 and round 1 of the playoffs, it doesn't come down to force withdrawal, except for now. So, yes, you guys got your force withdrawal, and lo and behold, it was in a B-side finals match.
So should we use forced withdrawal during the regular season to prevent all those ties League kept getting?
Really, we should, except when it comes down to counting pips.
Yeah, no, none of that.
Yeah. If you're in forced withdrawal and you tie in forced withdrawal, then it is actually the true tie. We're not counting pips.
All right, listeners, give feedback in the comment section. Should we have forced withdrawal in the regular season too?
With the B-side finals out of the way, we now will move on to the A-side finals, where we have the Abishai's Avengers versus the Riston's Rogues, two of the top teams in League, and as a matter of fact, the Abishai's Avengers have the best record in the regular season I think we've had in a very long time. 9 wins, 1 loss, 0 ties. Riston's Rogues came into the game with a phenomenally solid season and some really impressive and dominating play in the playoffs, which is kind of what Geoff is known for. This game came down to the last 2 or 3 rounds of fire, where a headshot finished off a mech, tilting things in one direction, and then the other side was not able to catch up. 2-1 for the victors, and I will let Brett announce the winner.
Congratulations to Riston's Rogues for winning this game and the championship of this 2022-2023 season.
That's good!
No, it was a good game, and you guys say it didn't come down to that headshot. That headshot certainly hurt, or helped, I should say. But overall, it was a pretty close match. My Night Sky was pretty beat up at the very end of the game, and was super close to, if it had come down to, it would have been enforced withdrawal. Max put up a good fight. It was a really good game. I enjoyed it.
We had some extra assistance this year, so with that in mind, we can bring you a little bit of behind-the-scenes information and stats on just how accurate this team of commentators were for our predictions.
All right, so for the regular seasons of matches 1 to 10, and a total of roughly 107 games. Why is it roughly, sir?
Because we had somebody drop out partway through.
We have the exact number. The exact number. This is it's simple math.
It should be 110, but of those last 3, they had random players, and we weren't necessarily sure of. One of them was somebody we'd never ever heard from or seen before.
Yeah. So
and you expected a 4-0 rout in 5 rounds.
That's true, but still, that's not the point. So, folks,
bring your own opponent day doesn't count.
So, folks, there was 110 games. I had a 57.27% accuracy call. Brett had 59.09, and our most accurate was not Lee at 60%. So
every once in a while, a blind squirrel can find a nut. Apparently, I was able to do it 60% of the time, and that's not bad when you're thinking that's like 65 games I had to get right. 55 games, somewhere in that range. 55.
I was gonna
60% of 110. It was messing me up. That's 55.
Yeah, because 60% is 100 would have been too easy.
Yeah. So either way, math is hard. I gotta say, I did pretty darn good. Like 60%, that's a huge jump up from what we had last year. All of us, actually.
Pretty sure I was at almost 60%, but you and our other commentator from last year were at like 45.
I think you're too high there for you.
You know, Brett, this is probably why Lee did so bad in the season, right? He was too busy concentrating on all this stuff.
Using the limited brain cells in wrong spots
Exactly.
does not compute. Not enough computational power. Comstar upgrade needed.
Bite me. Anyway,
Weren't you the losing Comstar player this year, Lee?
yeah, I didn't make it to the finals. That's right. But my record was a winning record.
I think everybody in the room had a winning record.
I didn't say that you didn't. I was just saying you guys are hacking on me. I told you I had a winning record. That's all I was saying. I don't care about what you guys did, other than Geoff, congratulations on being the A-side champion.
Thank you.
Everybody cares what Geoff did.
Yeah, everybody
Nobody
cares.
cares what
You
I
and
did.
I don't matter.
Nobody cares what I did.
Remember, this isn't Battletech, guys. Let's move on. Playoff round 1. There were only 8 games to call, and I only got 25% of the matches correctly. It was pretty bad. Brett fell to a 50% accuracy, so he might as well have been flipping a coin. But Geoff jumps all the way up to 62.25% correct. That's pretty decent.
It is, because I don't know how that math works out for 8 games either.
I didn't do the calculations.
I just went with the numbers that I was given.
So just read the
moving on.
numbers and run with it.
Remember, folks, math is hard for your hosts.
And we are
Maybe
the
he
professionals.
actually got, correct kill counts too, not just win-loss. Anyway, moving on. Math is hard. Round 2 of playoffs, with half the number of games, half the number of matches, both Geoff and myself were batting 50-50 here, while Lee pulls a sneaky call and gets 75% of the games correct, only missing one of the matches.
You make it sound so much more when really all it came down to is out of 4 matches he got 3 right, we got 2 right.
It makes all the difference, though. I'm still 25% better than you guys in that.
Once. He was
Not nearly
25% better than
10
us once.
Once.
Once,
It counts. It
That's
still
true.
counts.
We'll give you this one, Lee.
Oh, but it was pretty bad at the beginning. So, and when it comes down to the final predictions, A-side and B-side championship games, Geoff and I both called one right and got one wrong. And while Brett used a little bit of nepotism to luck out and predicted both games correctly.
Wasn't nepotism. I just knew who the more likely winner was going to be.
Oh, Gary, remember he said that?
Yeah.
You heard better.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just encouraging Gary to climb up into A-side next season and come and punch with the big kids.
No, remember he was in A-side for a little bit, looked up and went, and then let Aaron go in and take the kicking.
That's true, he did.
Look at this. I'm out. I'm going to go B-side.
No, I'm good. And he made it to the finals, so that's pretty good.
He had a valid winning strategy that took him right to the end.
And speaking of predictions, the ladies came in and joined us as a show sometime in the middle of the playoffs, or at the very beginning of playoffs, and they made their own predictions. Laura came up with a quarterfinals prediction accuracy of 50%, a semifinals of 50%, but got both of the finals games correct. Heather had a 62.5% accuracy for the quarterfinals, 50% for the semifinals, and then 50% for the overall finals. So in regards, they both did a really good job of guessing. Well, because that's pretty much what our predictions are when we're talking about a dice game. But I'm looking forward to seeing how they do next season.
I'm confused on 8 games how you get a 62.5%.
Talk to the person who did the math. We'll do it after the show.
I can let you know, though, I was not the mathematician in this. That was one of the behind-the-scenes assistants.
Apparently 5 of 8 is 62.5.
Sure.
Yeah, the math is hard. I just like the clicky-clacky rocks with the numbers on them. I just look at the number, it sounds good. If you can't count to 12, Battletech isn't for you. Oh, well, that's about as close as I get.
I mean, Lee, you got 11 covered, right?
Yep. All right, so staying with tradition, the same as last year, we will have everyone get together at the Ogre's Den for our 10:30 normal start time. We will do our awards and raffles, and following that, there'll be an organized game of a super secret nature. So we'll all have some fun. After that wraps up, probably around 3 p.m., we'll have a post-season social event where we just head off-site, go sit down, have some appetizers, and just hang out with some new and old friends.
Raffles and prizes will be given out for regular league members, and please bring cash money, as we will also have some prizes that have been donated to help us fund some more new maps for next season.
Ooh, new maps for next season. Sounds good.
Gotta get those arena counts up if we're gonna get to 30 people.
Yep, definitely. And we do need some new maps. You know, some of those old ones from way back in the day out of the original boxes are... The maps themselves aren't getting tired. They're just getting tired with the amount of times people have played those maps over the years, right?
There's one or two that are pretty tired and only being held together with best wishes. Also, if there's any maps that people feel, oh my god, I hated this, can we please take it out of rotation? Send that in as a suggestion. If there is one map that gets the most votes, we will take that one out. And if there is multiple maps that get votes, we'll take the one that has the most.
Yeah, because with it constantly changing and moving the maps around is a good idea as well, just so people feel like they're not playing on the same stuff over and over again.
I kind of kept track of which maps people wanted to ditch out on and play the defaults instead. So I've got an idea of some of the maps that people don't like. But if nobody voices an opinion, silence is acceptance and it stays in rotation, baby.
Sounds like a plan then. Well, in that case, I guess we'll see everybody in a couple weeks then.
Yeah, it's coming fast actually. The from game day to now to when we release this to when we actually all meet up, it was supposed to be felt like a really long month. I know it's the shortest month of the year, but it's going by so fast. All right, well, thanks everybody for coming in and listening to our normal show of Uncivil Discourse, as strange as it has been. Please remember to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, pass the word around. We want as many people to hear this as possible and to get interested in Battletech the way we play it, the way you play it, and just having fun with dice and stompy mechs. Talk to you guys soon.
Have a good one, folks. Thanks for joining us.
Now, we've mentioned it a couple of times. Off season, we usually drop off the Uncivil Discourse because we don't have a league going on. However, we try to pick up some of our other shows like Command Couch and some other options. If you have an idea of something that you'd like us to hear, or a topic you'd like us to cover, or a show you'd like us to potentially throw a stick at and see if we can make it stick, please leave that in the comments or reach out to us. We'd be happy to throw something at the wall and see what sticks. We value you guys listening to us, so we want to help give the content that you enjoy. Have a good night. Talk to you later. Coming at you like a shot to the cockpit. Good night, and lights out.